If you're just joining, again, we're inside of SwimShare. We've gone to swimshare.clubassistant.com. We've put in a couple sets, and we're starting to see our graphs fill up. One of the really exciting features that we have in SwimShare, which I'm just going to jump right into here, that nobody else has, is this Adapt for Groups tab. So we have a set in here. I'm going to go ahead and put intervals that I want. So 1 minute for the 50s, let's say 3 minutes for the 200s, or we could make it 3 minutes, 15 seconds. And if I go, see, I have groups. These are actually the names of Steve Hoffler's workout groups, which he sends out for masters. We can give you a link to that. So this is the fastest group, XXX down to T. And if we click on this Adapt for Groups tab here, what it's going to do is it's going to take the fastest groups workout here, and it's going to automatically adjust it for our lower groups. So we've got the set that we wrote at the top for group XXX, 1050s warm up on a minute, 4 200s free swim descend on 315. It's taken that and automatically scaled it for our other groups. So the XX now has 950s on 110, 4 175s on 315. So they're all going together. Group X, 850s on 115, 4 150s on 315, again, all going together. And you can see they're all roughly working out to the same amount of time, 25 minutes, give or take a minute. So that keeps all of our groups synced up, and we've got all of them running at the same time, and we're just writing for the top group here. So that's an exclusive feature of SwimShare, and that's actually a paid add-on feature, this Adapt for Groups. So everything we do here in the Home tab is completely free forever. If you want this amazing Adapt for Groups, it's $3 a month add-on. But again, it's fully functional. Just to give you an idea of what the workout looks like to print out, if I click the Log It button here, it's going to save this workout. And then we can see it right down here in our saved workouts, and we can load it as a PDF, and it's going to show us the printout version. I just want to make sure that my screen share is working. Do you see this printout version tab? Is that coming up?
So this is a different level
yes.
of training. I mean, imagine if you're doing Ironman, your life depends on finishing in a certain time span. You must.
Oh, I was listening to a question or a comment, but I think it just went on mute. Okay, so all right, so this is a printout, a PDF. This can go out automatically to your coaching staff, and I'll show you how to do that. But just trying to give you a sense of getting into a workout, putting some sets in, and then what you can do with that. Let's add another couple lines here to get into some other activities like kicking and drilling. I personally favor this way of just using these pop-up menus to put in the sets. And I've gotten used to strokes in the first column, activities in the second column, pace in the third column, and then there's some other assorted things. Let's say we're doing IM drill on these, and then let's say we're doing some kick. So we'll do some fast kicking, maybe your choice of stroke. Okay, so this is gonna flesh out, and maybe this is the same set. I'm changing my mind here. So I'm gonna call this set number 3, and instead of doing 8 100s and 4 100s, we wanna do 2 of the drill and 1 of the kick, and then we're gonna cycle through that whole thing 4 times. So now we're introducing this rounds column. So this is set number 3, for 2 lines of the practice, 2 100s IM drill, 100 choice kick fast, and we're cycling through that 4 times. I'm going to save the changes on this and load the printout again, just so that we can see how that's bracketed out on the printout. So we see it says 4 times through, 2 100s IM drill, and 100 choice kick fast. So that's a bracketed cycle. We can put in the intervals again. I'm admitting new participants here. I'm not, again, this is my first time using Zoom. So if you have a question, I hope you're able to jump in. So we've got, I'm going to put that kicking on a pretty tight interval just for fun. So then you jump right into the drill and have to catch up on the drill interval if you don't make that fast kicking interval there. So now we see we get some more interesting graphs down here where it's broken down by activity, how much swimming versus kicking versus drilling we're doing, both in terms of yards and in terms of percent. The strokes are broken down. Now it doesn't complete the circle because we didn't say a stroke on the warm up and we said choice here. So we don't know what stroke each swimmer is doing on those. So that's left blank, the rest of the circle there. And then of course our intensity breakdown. And we can manually adjust those intensity numbers, but because we said descend and fast and warm up, it's picking up on those automatically and giving us our intensity breakdown. And again, if we have this amazing adapt for groups feature added, then we get everything scaled for all of our swimmers. So you can see it adapts intelligently. So on the 2 100s IM drill here, it didn't change the reps or distance, but it did change the interval. All right, so for those just coming in, we're in SwimShare, swimshare.clubassistant.com. You can sign in right now with your email or your Google. Are there any questions? Does anyone want to break in with a question right now? I hope I have this set up right where any questions can come up if you have them. Okay, so just to look down at some of the other tabs that we have down here. So we have my workouts, which are saved workouts. Then we have my staff, which is shared between me and Megan. So if Megan writes a workout or if I write a workout, we can both see them in here. So we can pool our workouts, and it tells us what group we're writing for. We've got a tab called Josh Davis. Josh Davis is a great friend of ours, just as in business and in life. And he's been nice enough to give us some of his favorite workouts. So they're in there. And those are available. So if I want to see this, Josh Davis camp practice workout, I can load it and it loads right in. And if I want to see what it looks like printed out, I can view that as a PDF and it shows that set. And Josh has put in his thoughts here, his motivational thoughts, which if we had our own, we could put in as the daily thought right there. So again, this is a workout from Josh Davis, and we're looking at the printout version here, and he's got a number of these bracketed cycles. So it says 30-minute set, 625s, 450s, 275s, do that whole thing 3 rounds through as an example. Okay,
Richard,
and then,
can I
yes.
ask a question?
Yes, please.
Is it possible to organize the workouts based on type of workout? For example, sprint versus endurance versus, open water skill development or whatever it is. So is it possible to group them also?
Yes. Absolutely. Okay, I think I just switched, okay, to my video. So there are a couple ways to do that. One is if you label those as groups. So if you actually have separate groups doing those separate workouts, that would be one way to organize it. In the future, since we're still developing and adding features, we will actually have that capability built in where it automatically detects what kind of workout it is, and that will be retroactive. So um, if you wanted to call your groups sprint, IM, distance, etc., you could do that, and then you can sort by group down here.
Mm-hmm.
Or if another way to do it would be if you just put it in the name of the workout. So
Oh,
if you
you can
said,
sort by name. I see.
yes, if you said sprint in the name of the workout, and then let's log that as our own workout here, then we can filter all the workouts by the ones that have sprint in the name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So let's see, I'll go down here. You see the name of the workout is sprint. So if I do a search for sprint, it not only shows the ones that have sprint in the name of the workout, but it also shows the workouts that have the word sprint in the sets.
Thank you.
So that would be another way to do it. And again, in the future, we already have the technology in there. We just don't have it live and tested. We will be able to show you calculated metrics for what kind of workout it is, what the emphasis is, even what time of the season it was written for, that sort of thing. Thank you for the question. Are there any other questions?
Roger, you hear me?
Yes.
Um, would you just put an example of, I think it's useful for the other coaches who have tight timelines. If you could put
Yes.
in an example for rest. Like after the
Yes.
first set, I want to put in, I use a standard 2 minutes, but I don't know what, just show an example of that. That should help a lot of people too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So, okay, in terms of rest inside the practice. So we've got a couple things going on here. This is an example workout. This is a very high level, very intense workout. As you can see, it goes for 2.5 hours, 10,000 yards. This is kind of an extreme example. But you'll see there's this field here at the top that spans the whole workout. These are settings for the whole workout. It says time between sets. So you can choose an automatic break between the numbered sets. So if we change that, if you see the total time here, it says 150 minutes. Well, if we take 3 minutes between sets, that puts us at 164 minutes, a longer practice. So it calculates that in for us, the time between sets. And then there's another way, if we just wanted to manually add in some rest here, we can also add an extra rest between, if we want to have a meeting, after this set, meeting and stretch time or something, we can just add in that rest. So you see what I did here was I added a row using this plus sign, and I just said one rest, and I gave it an amount of time, maybe went on an extra minute after another set, or even inside of set 3, maybe, I should have done that the other way, but now I've got to renumber my sets. But so let's see, there we go. Now I've put an extra minute of rest inside of set 3. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to call it monster workout with rest. Log it as a new workout. So save changes is if you're updating an existing saved workout, log it as a new workout is like save a copy or save as. So it will preserve the original and it'll also make a new copy. And you can see my internet is struggling to keep up with the broadcasting at the same time. So now we have this monster workout with rest. We'll view it as a printout. And we're going to see those added rest in there. So like inside of this set, inside of the rounds, I put an extra minute of rest here, or down here, we put an extra 5 minutes of rest down there.
And but it's just like if you're doing a US RPT set, so you could have the automatic rest at the top, but a US RPT workout will have like 15 minutes rest between sets, and that's
Sure.
where you'll have to be able to do it manually as well.
Sure. Yes. And so that would be just as we did it here, 15 minutes as a line of the practice. All right, great. Thank you for that question. Now, that question actually brings us to another feature that we can show, which is that, and I'll actually do a mix of video and screen sharing here, because we can take this workout and we can send it to a digital pace clock that will run on a mobile device. So if this is great if you're doing USRPT especially, but any workout where you're keeping on the timeline, it will not only put in all the intervals that we're showing here, it will also put in the automatic 1 minute between numbered sets into the pace clock. So if I go here to export to Seconds Pro, it shows this explanation. Seconds Pro is an app on iOS or Android, on iPhone or Google phone. And it will actually email me this file automatically, or we can download the file. And so if you click download, it downloads to your computer, or if you're on your mobile phone, to your mobile phone. Or if I click log it as a new workout here, it's going to automatically email me that workout, and I can pull it up on my phone, which I will try to do if everything cooperates, and then I can show you on my phone. So that's another thing that will go into the rest there. Okay. Hopefully that answers the question about adding rest into sets. Are there any other questions? Okay, something else I can show. I'll just show you SwimShare as it appears on my phone here. So I'm going to go off of screen share. And so you can see, hopefully we can get, yeah, this. It looks the same on the phone. And this is where those pop-ups really come in handy. So I'm going to start a new workout here. So I've got a blank workout, and let's just say I'm on the go. I want to add, not driving. I'm not doing this while driving, but I want to add in a set. It's really easy. Sometimes it gets really cumbersome to type in on your phone, because you have to switch from letters to numbers to punctuation to letters to numbers to punctuation. But here we can just touch, and it pulls up the number pad automatically, or the list. So 4, and then it jumps straight to the distance, 200s, free. And I'm done, and it's already in there. I didn't have to type. I didn't have to switch between the keypads. It does it automatically. So we'll give an interval for 200s. We'll do them on 3:30. We got 30 seconds right there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this clock export right here on my phone, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna download the file. Sorry, I'm gonna look at the phone for a second to navigate this, and then I'll be able to show you the file. Okay, here's my downloaded file right there. It's in my downloads in Safari, and it opens in this Seconds Pro app. And I say import here. Again, this app is called Seconds Pro. So here's this little workout that I just made. for my triple X group. And you can see it's on this pace clock, 4200, it's on 330. And if you turn it sideways, sorry, that's my Siri. And if we start it running, you can set it as a preference, you can set it to count up or count down. So that's your choice. And then it will just advance through the 4200s or whatever your set is. So I'll show you a more complicated set that I've already imported. So you can see the whole practice is in here. It's color coded by intensity. And you can see there's one of those automatic rests in between sets. And as it runs, this one's counting down. I have it set to count down. Again, you can have it set to count up, and it'll just advance you through the set. So if you have an iPad or if you have a TV on deck, you can show this on the iPad or on the TV, and you've got your whole practice there in the pace clock. So again, that's an export to pace clock feature that's in SwimShare. So I've gone back into screen share. You can see it says new data found because I was working on my phone. So I'm going to refresh, and then it syncs up with what was on my phone. So everything's saved automatically, and everything is automatically synchronized between your phone and your computer. So again, this clock export function is what we were just looking at on my phone. You need an app called Seconds Pro. That's another add-on feature into SwimShare. Okay, so we've had 2 great questions so far. Does anyone else want to jump in with a question before I just keep showing stuff?
What is the overall cost of SwimShare?
Okay, so what you see here on the home screen is completely free forever. So just sign in with your Google or your email. You have an account, you can use it. You can write workouts, you can save workouts, you get all the breakdowns, you can check out Josh Davis workouts. Then we have some add-on features. Let me see. Okay, add features. So here are 3 add-on features that I've already added to my account. So it's called SwimShare very deliberately because we want to encourage people to share. So in the near future, we're going to be opening up for those who choose to share their workouts. Will be an amazing database of workouts, and you can just pull them into your account, and you can edit them and use them however you like. If you don't want to participate in that open sharing, and that can be the open sharing, you can choose to be anonymous or you can choose to identify yourself. If you don't want to participate in the open sharing, we ask for $3 a month, $2.99 a month, to keep your workouts private to you. So it's free as long as you want to share. Again, you can share anonymously, but if you want to keep them private, we ask for $3 a month. The automatic leveling of the workout, which I showed earlier for those of you who weren't on, if you have a workout in here, the automatic leveling will scale that workout to your groups. So let me reselect a group here that we've written for. I changed workouts. It will scale the workout down for all your groups automatically so that it's appropriate to their level. That feature is also $3 a month. And the clock export feature is $3 a month. So each premium add-on feature, the keeping them private to you, not sharing, would be $3. The automatic leveling would be $3, and the clock export would be $3. So at this point, that's, if you want the whole shebang, that's $9 a month.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. So if I sign up and make an account, do you have to pay $3 in order to see a library, or just so other people wouldn't see yours?
Just
SwimShare,
so
go
that
ahead.
other people won't see yours. And again, we haven't opened that up, and we will prompt everyone again to say, if you don't want to participate in this open sharing when we launch it, we'll say you can pay the $3 a month. But for if you want to use it for free and you don't mind sharing your workouts with others, then it's free.
Yeah,
and then you can add
I
on those
until
premium
about a half
features.
an hour. And is this not opened up then yet? Does this exist right now?
It's the worldwide library of shared workouts is not launched yet, but the program itself is completely launched. Yes, you
Okay.
can use this right now. It's at, again, swimshare.clubassistant.com. I think if you look in the Zoom chat, you'll see it there.
One more question I have is, when I first came in, you were talking about how to adapt for groups, and that sounded awesome for me. But
Yes.
Because what I do is I kind of use off a 100 pace to figure out all their distance intervals for. Is that what I would add in, and then one time, and then it figures it out, or how does it know which levels to go?
Yes. Okay. So my groups are a little messy right now, but I'm going to go to my manage groups page, and I'll just scroll down here. So if you look at these groups, so you sign into SwimShare, maybe you've written a workout. If you go to the manage groups tab, you would of course start out with just one group. Again, this is kind of a messy account. Maybe I should have used another one, but if we just focus on these groups, XXX, XX, X, Y, Z, Q, T, and again, those are Steve Hoffler's masters groups. We can send out a link to his workouts, but so here you can see we put in how long they're in the water, and then we put in the base interval, and it explains that down here. So workout duration, number of minutes in the water, and interval basis is I'm going to try to zoom in. Hopefully that works for you. It's the fastest interval on which your group would swim 8 100s free, where it would be a challenge, but they wouldn't miss the interval if they push it.
Right.
So if the interval is 110, we put in 70 seconds, a minute and 10 seconds. So we've got this XXX through T. So the base interval here is 120, a minute 20, 90 seconds, a minute 30, 100 seconds, a minute 40. And so, and maybe we have a group, maybe this top group is actually going for 2 hours, and the next group is going for 90 minutes, and the rest are going for 60 minutes. So if we go back here, and we say, all right, we've written this practice, we can choose which one we've written it for. This is our top group. So let's make it an actual 2-hour practice, just artificially here. Let's do IM with fins, fast. Oops. Okay, and let's do that on 145. That's pretty intense. Okay, I'm just trying to fill out the 2 hours as an example. And then we'll do an 800 pull. We'll say that's choice. Pace. I don't know what's going on here, but and you can see this is something that we haven't pointed out yet, is that so I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, we were getting this workout to a 2-hour workout, so we can show the time adjustment. And I was about to point out that on this 800 pull, I just kind of guessed and I said 11 minutes, 30 seconds, but I wasn't actually sure what that would work out to in terms of a per 100 average. And so I was going to point out that we can see that if we look at the right side, there are some calculations here. Of course, total yards, total time. It also shows us the per 100 average. So if I like 126 per 100 on that 800 pull, I can leave it alone. But if I say I want it to be a little bit slower per 100, then I can adjust, kind of do a guess and check and see how that per 100 average gets updated there. So it's just another piece of information to help us as we write this workout. And maybe we'll do this set, you know, okay, that's pretty good. If we do that set 4 rounds through, and then maybe we cut the number of 50s kick down, we're at 121 minutes. That's about a 2-hour workout. Okay. So now we're at that 2-hour workout, and we want to look at the adapt for groups. And so we set up a 2-hour workout group, a 90-minute workout group, a 60-minute workout group. So when we go to adapt for groups, it's going to take this 2-hour workout group, and it's not only going to adjust for how long they're in the water, but it's also going to adjust for speed. So let's let this catch up. We're starting to get some more people back in. Oops. Let's see. We're doing this for double X. Oh, that's wrong. We don't have a set number. Okay. All right, so there's our triple X group with a 2-hour workout. And then here's our double X group. And you can see not only is the speed different. So if we look over at those per 100 averages, we've got on the 2100s IM with fins fast, the 145 group, 2-minute group on the pole, even though they're only doing a 500 because they're in the water for less time. So our top group's doing an 800, our next group is doing a 500. That's scaled not only because their overall practice is shorter, it's an 1.5 hour practice, but it's also scaled for speed. You can see the per 100 average is very different. The top group has a 133 and the next group has a 153. So, and then it gets leveled down further for our hour groups. You can see they're all around 60 minutes there. And then maybe we have a shorter, I don't remember, practice for the others, but it gets scaled down as we go. All right, oh, we got more people coming back. All right, so what we've gone over, we're on SwimShare, swimshare.clubassistant.com. For those of you just joining now, we have reviewed putting some sets in. We've looked at the adapt for groups feature, which will level our workout for our different speed groups. We've looked at exporting the workout to a pace clock. We've looked at how the workout looks on a printout. And this is pretty cool, actually. If you go down to your workout down here, sorry, this is workout 45. I have a lot of workouts in here. So if you go down here, if you're on your phone, you can also open these PDFs on your phone, and it can just be a really nice way to view the sets here. I don't know what this practice was, but just for readability, or you can share that from your phone by email. Maybe if we'll open up for specific questions, but maybe the next thing we'll look at is the preferences that you can set. Unless somebody has a question first. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my user account here in the upper right. And if you're following along on SwimShare, you can do this and go to your name in the upper right and go to preferences. And we see some options here. So first it says email a copy of workouts when they are saved. We can turn that on or off. Okay, So we can, if you don't want an email of the workout, turn it off. If you want an email of the workout, you can make a list of who you want it to go to, and it'll go out. So if you have a coaching staff, it can go out automatically. It'll blast an email with the workout to all your coaches. You can choose whether to include a PDF in that email, so it's for easy printout. You can choose whether that's a hamburger or hot dog,
already?
portrait or landscape.
Huh? Oh, you have Wanda? Oh,
Okay. You can also choose to include an Excel spreadsheet export of the workout. You can include, if you have the added export to Seconds Pro, you can include that file automatically in the email as an attachment. Any questions so far about these preferences? Okay. And then you can also choose these pop-ups. So what those are, the stroke input touchpad. Some people prefer to type. Some people prefer to just click or touch with their finger. So the way I like to do it is I like to just click. So 5, 100s, and oops, did I turn it on or off? I turned it off. Okay, so this touchpad, if I turn it on, when I put in the 5 100s or 5 1000s, it pops up automatically, and then I can choose the stroke and the activity and so on. If I turn it off, those pop-ups are still there. You can just hit this tag and get the pop-up, but so if you have them turned on, they pop up automatically after you put in the distance. If you have them turned off, you can just type whatever you want. So that's the other option. And you can do it separately for your phone or your desktop. So maybe you want to touch the stroke and the activity on your phone, but maybe you want to type on your desktop because you have a better keyboard on your desktop. You can choose a default group. Usually people tend to write for the fastest group first. So that's usually what they choose here. You can choose by default what the time between sets is, the automatic buffer between sets. And you can choose by default whether you're short pool with yards, long pool with meters, short pool with meters. So this stands for short course yards, long course meters, short course meters. So those are preferences that you can choose. Okay, well, we've done pretty good overview. We've gone well over an hour. I'm happy to answer any further questions or to show anything else you want to see. But I don't know that I'm going to just keep trucking along with showing off features at this point.
Can you hear me? I have a quick
Yes.
question.
Yes.
There's, well, 2 questions. One is if you set up a group
Yes.
and the default interval is, let's say, 130.
Yes.
How come when if that's my fastest group, I'm starting a workout,
Yes.
how come when I put in, 5 100s, the 130 doesn't automatically fill in?
Well, okay. So
Because
great question.
if
Thank
it's a
you.
130 group that's for freestyle,
Mhm.
when I put in 650s breaststroke, I'd want it to figure out the interval for me based on the 140.
Yes. Okay, great. So this is a feature that we have, and I know a couple people on this call at least. I recognize some names actually who have used the Google Sheet program called Strive that came before SwimShare. And in that program, it would do exactly what you just said. So if we said 8 100s free, then it would say, and we said we were doing those at intensity 5, it would fill in the 130. And then if we put in, 8 100s breast, and we put intensity 3, it would fill in whatever that might be, 215, whatever. That is not built into SwimShare yet. It's not launched for use in SwimShare yet, but we have the technology. SwimShare is the new version of what was the Strive Google Sheet that did that, and that's something we're building in. What we do have for you before you fill in the intervals yourself is we do have a rough, very rough time estimate for you that, we're going to take 25 minutes to do these 2 sets. Again, it's very rough. However, in the near future, we will have that amazing feature where it knows what the intervals should be and you don't have to write any intervals. It's just not in there yet.
Okay. And is
How
there,
long until that feature's added in?
I have learned never to give a time estimate for programming, but let's say end of the summer.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Bridger.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a programmer myself, so I'm a kind of power user. I think that the 2 things I've noticed is, one, that same feature that the guy, one of the guests just mentioned,
Yes.
and 2, I really think under the stroke equipment drills column, stroke
Yes.
equipment details column, that we should be able to articulate some of our own equipment. I mean, for my sprinters, I use a power rack and I use a power tower. And
Sure.
I'd like to be
Yes.
able to put that in there.
You will have control, again, coming soon. You will have control over the contents of your touchpad here. So right now, everyone sees the same thing here. But coming soon, not only will you have control over your own contents here, what you can touch to input, but it'll just get smarter automatically based on your usage. So
you're bringing in some machine learning AI stuff there.
Yes.
Great.
one other quick question I had is, can you adjust the font?
No. Not
Okay.
yet. But thank you for bringing these up. It's always something we can look at. But no, right now the font is what it is. The PDF looks how it looks. But these are things we can always look at. All right. What else do we have?
And lastly, Bridger, is there
Yes.
any plans to partner with Form Goggle, partner with some other hardware, wearable?
Yes. So we have talked to Form preliminarily, as well as other hardware. And we actually have a really big project coming up where we will be able to input hardware from a lot of the popular hardware, the workouts, and we'll be able to import those into SwimShare. And we have some amazing things that we're going to do with that. So the program is growing all the time. And so the sooner you get in the habit of putting your workouts in every day, the more powerful those features will be as they roll out, because they'll be more customized to you and your swimmers. And also we'll have more personal data for you and your swimmers in terms of their training. And so you'll be able to better take advantage of the features as they come out. Any other questions?
Bridger,
Yes.
I currently have Strive.
Yes.
And yes, okay. How do we upgrade to SwimShare?
You just go to swimshare.clubassistant.com.
Okay.
And here, let me push that link out again to everyone. And log in with your email address or your Google account. I know you have a Google account because you're on Strive. So if you just want to use the same one, or it doesn't matter. You can use any account you want or email address, and just start using it. Like I said, there are some features from the Google Sheet that are not built into SwimShare yet. You will find as a comparison that SwimShare is much snappier, much faster, and just smoother to work with. I have more to say about you specifically because you are a Strive user, in terms of getting your account fully featured. So just email me and we'll get that. But you could log in right now. It's already set up in a sense. Just use your email or your Google.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, anything else? Okay, so I know some of you were interested in that Dryland program. My understanding is it was being recorded, so we'll get that posted. This was also recorded. And so thank you very much for taking a look.
Thank you very much. That was a really helpful demonstration.
Oh, great pleasure.
As far as I understand, with the limited amount that I've used it, there isn't any functionality for putting in specific swimmers.
Correct, not yet.
That is coming soon also, okay.
Yes.
I assume then that would mean that potentially there would be like an attendance feature as well.
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
Bridge, I think what I've done with the individual swimmers, I have individual swimmers because I only coach at the top end of the sport. So I've actually made the group into the individual swimmer. So that's a way you can work around it. So if you have a swimmer, you just put their name and that's the group. And all his workouts will be there.
Nice. Thank you for that. All right. Well, again, thanks very much. Email me anytime.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, the roadmap is very exciting. Okay, thanks. Take care.